Models, glamorous jet setters who settled down in mystical Sedona, but their perfect family fell apart with a bitter divorce and shocking accusations of sex crimes that landed the husband in jail on a whopping $75 million bond.
Wendy Halloran investigates why his case has sparked an international campaign for justice.
At the age of 19, he graced the cover of Vogue magazine. The Brazilian native met his future American wife during a photo shoot in Japan. Both were models. The couple married and moved to Sedona in 1995. They had 3 children together. A picture-perfect family, or so it seemed. But behind this beautiful backdrop in Sedona lies an ugly story, a relationship rife with accusations of extramarital affairs, a bitter divorce, child custody feud, and shocking accusations that the now 39-year-old father molested his 2 boys. And that's why we're taking steps to protect his children from being indirectly identified. Did you molest your children?
No. The accusations that she did are absolutely incorrect. I mean, they're nothing but lies.
He's been held in the Yavapai County Jail since December 2008 on child molestation charges. He says his ex-wife manipulated his children into believing he molested them in order to win custody.
Taking the children away from me, who I always cared for, that would be the one thing and only thing that the way she could hurt me.
Court records reveal licensed professional counselor Linda Bernardo was their marriage counselor. The wife accused the counselor of making passes at her husband and wanting to break up their marriage. But they still followed Bernardo's advice to separate. After the divorce, the now ex-wife took her youngest children to Bernardo for therapy. It was then that Bernardo first believed the boys showed signs of sexual abuse. Records show the boys gave investigators graphic statements that their father had abused them, but police found no physical evidence.
I believe Linda absolutely induced and coerced my children to lie.
For the past 29 months, he's been jailed on a virtually unheard of $75 million cash bond. And while he can't get out, his story has spread all the way to his native Brazil, where supporters have started an email campaign denouncing the injustice of holding him so long without a trial. Locally, his supporters include Sedona dentist Kirk Westervelt. He offered to put his house up as collateral and is adamant of his innocence.
Oh, 100%. Every bone in my body. I wouldn't put my house up for bail, and I wouldn't let him stay with my children.
Others who know him say he would never harm his children, let alone any child.
No, I don't believe he did that.
Never, ever have I ever had a sense of that with him. And I completely trust him with my family and with my child.
His supporters have written letters to the court, even testified during his bail hearing. They're outraged he's been languishing in jail.
I've been more pissed off than him at the last 2.5 years for what he's been going through.
Some claim the accusations stem solely from the couple's bitter divorce. We tried several times to get her side of the story, but to no avail. Her court-appointed victims advocate says the father is trying to demonize his ex-wife while he stands accused of heinous crimes, adding that her client initially refused to believe the allegations of abuse, so it makes no sense to say she invented them.
I'm Wendy with 12 News.
And remember Linda Bernardo, the couple's marriage counselor who first raised the allegation of sexual abuse? She's since lost her license to practice.
I'm not going to comment on that at the moment, but it says it was revoked.
That's the Arizona board. You can't retire a license.
The state board says she did voluntarily surrender her license while under investigation. The state revoked her license for negligent custody evaluations in 3 other cases in which Bernardo showed bias against the fathers.
The defendant's accusing you of inducing the children to lie. Do you have any reaction?
As this father and his supporters count the days, wondering when he'll stand trial.
He's been in jail over 2.5 years, and he still hasn't had his day in court. And that what hurts me the most.
Now, it's important to note that at least 2 other professionals concluded the boys were sexually abused. That's despite the fact that one of the boys repeatedly denied recalling the abuse, telling investigators that his mom's psychic friend would remember. There are also several records citing the mother's metaphysical beliefs. Wendy Halloran, 12 News.